I learned about LifeStream when my son was basically on his deathbed.
Meet Charon Simmons, 23 years of age. Charon was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia when he was just 5 years old. His sister Alyssa, now 9, was diagnosed with sickle cell when she was still in the womb.
I went on a bike ride, I was exercising. I was out longer than I thought I was going to be because I ended up getting lost. And my back started hurting, so I came home and told my dad that I was, having some pain. He gave me medicine. I took a hot bath because that sometimes helps. But when it didn't help, he had to take me to the hospital. And I remember going to the ER and getting an IV, getting some pain medicine.
Within 48 hours of arriving at the hospital, Charon's hemoglobin dropped to a critical low level. He was severely anemic. At that point, Charon's kidneys, liver, and lungs completely shut down.
The two most crucial parts of his management was being able to identify that there was a dead organ, removing it in a timely manner. And the other part was, in effect, doing what's called a full exchange transfusion.
In a case like this, you only get one chance, and you cannot mess it up. You get one chance to get the patient better. Because if something goes wrong and he takes a few steps back, that may be irreversible.
He was in ICU. He looked like he had gained probably 20 pounds from the last time I seen him, which was only hours ago. Because at that time, he had already went into cardiac arrest again for almost 13 minutes.
Charon required more than a standard blood transfusion. His own blood was contributing to his deteriorating condition and needed to be replaced fast.
Sickle cell anemia is a disease of hemoglobin. When you have sickle cell disease, you have an abnormal hemoglobin. We call that hemoglobin S. These cells are frail. They occasionally will form abnormal shapes. In fact, that's where the name of the disease came from. The cells often look like sickles or crescent-shaped cells. That's very difficult to have red cells that are shaped like sickles because they don't travel through our vessels in the same way as normal, healthy cells. When you have these abnormal shapes, they tend to fragment more easily, break down more easily, lead to anemia, and get caught in various vessels throughout the body, causing pain.
It's very critical in this case that we had enough blood and for it to be delivered in a timely manner for him to recover.
The next couple of days proved to be very challenging for us. They had to do hypothermia. We were told they was going to cut off my son's feet because the oxygen was cut off. They were turning black. The legs had swollen. He had muscle damage. He had multiple organ failure. There was just, probably very slim chance that he would survive. And to what level of life or quality of life he would live, they don't know.
My intuition was that, even with making the right diagnosis, having a treatment plan, having the right facility, the people, the ancillary support, the blood products to execute, the odds were still questionable because it's very hard for someone with sickle cell disease to go through multi-system organ failure and then to confidently say that you can pull them out of it.
I told Charon, don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give up. You will get up and you will walk out of here.
We were able to revive the heart, and using the hypothermia, we were able to protect the brain, and using a new modality of dialysis, we were able to protect the kidneys and have the kidneys recover too.
Over the next few weeks, Charon required more than 35 units of blood.
This is a case where had blood not been delivered in enough quantity and in a timely manner, it would have dramatically decreased his chance of survival.
We always think of blood types as ABO or AB, but the truth is there's more to the story. And people who are frequently transfused may become more selective in whose blood could be transfused to them. A sickle cell patient is a classic example of that. Because they're transfused so frequently, it may be more and more difficult to find the perfect match in order to keep up with those transfusions.
I'm lucky enough that I don't need blood transfusions all the time, but a lot of people with sickle cell, they have to get blood transfusions once or twice a month.
I appreciate the availability of blood products. You don't realize it until you go somewhere else where it's not available. And when you get called in the ICU or for some very sick patients, often that's what it's for. And to have a blood bank there that is readily available for those needs is critical. It makes my job possible here.
We certainly reach out at LifeStream to all ethnic groups, and we try to encourage a wide diversity of folks to donate. I think that the message is getting out in a bigger way today than ever before. With help from the Desert Healthcare District, we have been able to, in fact, look for these rare blood types at a higher level, at actually a DNA level. We're now looking to see whose blood would be a perfect match for some of these patients who are difficult to transfuse. By doing this, by actually looking for rare blood types ahead of time, when the need is there, we don't have to search at that time. We can go to our database and find those rare blood types very quickly and treat patients very rapidly.
My son is a living evidence of what LifeStream can do. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good of a doctor I have and what awesome team of doctors I have in hospital. If the blood wasn't there, he would not be here. That's the bottom line. There should never be lack of blood anywhere.
You won't know the person, but you will know that you're saving a life.
Imagine that you are the patient and you have a rare blood type, or you will need frequent transfusions potentially for the rest of your life. Wouldn't you like to feel as though the supply was there and ready for you, and that you wouldn't have to wait in the hospital for the potential of finding that very rare donor?
Aren't we all here to leave footprints behind? What would your footprint say about you? Get up and give blood, because everybody can use it. They can be a child, they can be a young adult, they can be old, they can be young. And to know that someone is living because you had something to do with that. You giving this has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with saving a life.
I do thank each and every person who's given blood. You know, if I could thank the individuals who gave it for my son, I would. I can't truly express the gratitude that I feel for the people who did give blood, that allowed my son, to make it through this trying time.
Charon looks forward to renewing his pursuit of a career in law enforcement and of being there as a friend and confidant for his sister Alyssa. Charon's dreams, his life, were put on hold. But his determination and LifeStream donors made life's possibilities real again. LifeStream. Give hope, give life, give blood.